G'day folks, Sean here from Air Photography. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a smartphone gimbal. Now this is not just any ordinary smartphone gimbal. It actually serves many different uses, and as you can see by the size of it, it's tiny and compact. But even though it's small, it can still be used with some of today's largest iPhones. For example, in this video, I'm going to be demonstrating with the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It works perfectly with those large, heavy iPhones. On top of being a smartphone gimbal, it's actually a power bank as well. It supports wireless Qi charging, so we'll take a closer look at that here in a minute. Now, I have used many smartphone gimbals over the years, and like many people, they seem like a good idea, but sometimes they become very inconvenient. No matter how much they fold up, they're always big, bulky, heavy, and you tend not to bring them along with you because they're just inconvenient to use. Something like this is small, it's light, and whether you're going to use it or not, it's always good to have a power bank with you when you're out filming, so it's just a no-brainer to bring along. And that's why for me, this is the only smartphone gimbal that I'm going to be using going forward. I've actually used this quite a bit over the past month, and I've been very impressed with its performance. So let's go ahead here, we're going to take a closer look at it, we're going to talk about some of its features, and we're going to take a look at the ecosystem because there's quite a few different accessories for it. You can see here it's kind of accented with this rose gold. They actually sell this in a few different colors. This one here is the black one, and the rest of the finish is kind of like a leathery material. Just has a nice quality feel and build to it. On the back side here, you can see we have our buttons for controlling the gimbal. We have a USB-C port, that's how we charge the gimbal, but as mentioned, it also works as a power bank, so you can plug any device in there to charge it up. On the front here, on the PowerVision logo, that's also your wireless Qi charging. It works in conjunction with their cases, which we'll take a look at in a minute here, but you don't have to have one of their cases in order to make use of that feature. On the bottom here, we have a 1/4-20, so you can mount it on an extension pole, or you can mount it on a tripod. And as a bonus, it actually has its own little mini tripod built into it, so if you don't want to carry around an extra tripod with you, there's one that's kind of folded down inside there. Let's take a quick look at that. As you can see here, we have these little legs that pull out. They just bend down like that. And then we have that other leg that folds out. And now we have a little mini tripod. And that is pretty brilliant. Although they do sell their own extension tripod, which we'll take a look at here in a minute, sometimes you just don't want to carry that extra gear around with you. This way you always know you have a tripod with you if you need to set the gimbal down and do some filming. Folds up nice and easy. And it's out of your way. I'm going to demonstrate the power bank features here in a minute, but let's take a look at how it unfolds because it's pretty unique that way. Partly how they achieve the small size of this smartphone gimbal is because it kind of folds into itself. Now when you get it, there's little stickers on it demonstrating the 4 steps you need to unfold it. First step is open that door. Second step is we're going to unfold the gimbal, just like that there. Third step is we're going to twist that top. And the fourth step is we're going to fold that up. And that's it. It's now ready to use. But before we get a phone mounted into it, let's look at some of the mounting options. So the Powervision S1 has a magnetic mounting system, so there's a couple different ways in which you can mount your phone. The first way is to get one of their smartphone cases. It has the mount already pre-built right into it. As you can see there, it just connects magnetically with no issues. But they've taken it a step further. What they've done here is because there's a magnet behind there to connect it to the gimbal, of course your wireless charging won't work. You can see here we have this lever that we can pull out. And what we can do is slide the magnet down. So the magnet has just moved from up here and it's now down here. Now all we have to do is spin that lever, fold it back in. So the magnet is now stored down here, and that means we can now connect it to the wireless charger, but I am going to demonstrate that here in a minute. When you want to move the magnet back up, all you do is that, and now the magnet's back there at the top so we can connect it back to the gimbal. And as another bonus, that arm can act as a kickstand. So that's one way you can connect your smartphone to the gimbal. But if you don't want to use one of their cases, if you have a case that you already like that you want to use, you can get this mount here as well. This is just a traditional smartphone clamp, and it has the magnets built into it. You can just clip this on any smartphone or smartphone with a case. And then again, it's just going to connect there magnetically. This here is probably a good option for many people. Now alternatively, they have this stick-on mount, and you can stick this onto any case. So if you don't like to use a clamp, you want a more permanent solution because you're going to be using your gimbal quite a bit, you can just attach this to the back of any smartphone case you have. Here it is here. As you can see, there's some adhesive on the back. So you just line it up, stick it to the back of any smartphone case, and you're good to go. And it's kind of like the built-in case. It has that lever that you can pull out to pull the magnet out of the way. That way when you have this attached to your smartphone case, you can still use the wireless charging. On top of that, many of the accessories come with these little magnets. These are little stick-on magnets. So once you have any of these accessories, you could put these on a wall, maybe in your kitchen. So if you're going to be cooking dinner and you're bringing up a recipe, you have a quick and easy way to mount your phone out of the way. And then they have this accessory here. This is a car phone mount. It's on a ball head so you can adjust it. Again, it has a sticky surface on one end so you can mount it on something like a dash or a window. But if you prefer, you can unscrew the end. And as you can see there, it now has a vent mount. And just like all the other accessories, it just clips on there magnetically. Now before we move on here, I just want to quickly show you how this wireless charger works. Now this is just a standard wireless charger, so it's compatible with a wide variety of smartphones and any other device that is compatible with Qi charging. So to use a wireless charging, all we have to do is hit that power button for a second. You'll see those lights come on there. That means it's in charging mode. We just attach the case there, and as you can see, it's now charging. And to make use of that charger, you don't have to use one of their specific cases. You can just lay any smartphone on top of it that supports Qi charging, and it will just go ahead and charge. You can see there, it's going to now start charging as well. Anything that doesn't support wireless charging, again, as mentioned, you would just plug it into the USB-C port. I'm going to go ahead here, we're going to unfold it and get it set up. We'll go ahead and we'll power it on. And there you go, as you can see, it's balancing the iPhone, this large iPhone, with no issue at all. Now PowerVision has an app for it, and it has a lot of really good, useful tools in it. But you don't have to use their app if you don't want to. If you prefer to use the stock app from your iPhone, you can connect to the S1 via Bluetooth and still have full use of the controls. But ideally, if you want to make use of all the features, it's a good idea to use the app. Let's go ahead here and we're going to launch the Vision S1 app. And this is actually where it gets really interesting, because you can see here we have two main options. First of all, I just want to mention they have a lot of videos about the product there. They're really useful videos, so you might want to take a look at them. But at the top here, you can see we have camera. And we have this thing called Power Follow, and that's what really sets this gimbal apart from some of the other ones that offer tracking. You don't actually have to use the PowerVision app to make use of tracking. They have this feature called Power Follow, so you can enable it and you can use any app you want, like FaceTime or the native camera app, and you will still be able to make use of the tracking. Just by using gestures, you can enable and disable it. But of course, we can go into their camera app. And from here we have all the standard options like panorama, photo, video, slow motion, and time-lapse. We have all our settings that we can adjust. And of course we have tracking. And the nice thing about the tracking is you don't have to track just people or animals, you can track objects. Of course they offer gesture control, so you can enable and disable tracking just with a simple gesture. And of course you can stop and start recording with a simple gesture. So a lot of really powerful tools. I'm not going to get into it too much in this video. I'm probably going to make some more videos down the road going over the app a little bit more in detail, some of the features and things you can do with it. Of course, when you're done filming, it's simple to fold up. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, and Step 4. And now we have a small little package that'll easily fit in our pocket or in a camera bag without taking up a lot of space or adding a lot of weight to our kit. If you're a person who likes to travel light but still want a full-featured smartphone gimbal, this is definitely the product for you. As mentioned, I've been using this gimbal for a while, and definitely it is going to be the gimbal I'll be using going forward. It's just the perfect little device for me. When I'm out traveling or filming, sightseeing, family vacations, I like to sometimes bring a smartphone gimbal with me. I always like to have a power bank with me, so this is kind of the best of both worlds in one small little package. Now lastly, before I go here, this is another accessory they sell for it. Even though it does have that built-in tripod, if it's a windy day or there's a lot of commotion around it where it's going to be sitting, you're still better to use a tripod with a wider base. Not only is it a tripod, it's also an extension pole, so you can get some extra reach if you need it. So that's basically it for my video, folks. I will leave a link to this down below in the description of this video. Definitely go and check it out if you are interested. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. It's always greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And we'll see you in the next one.